Alright everybody, we are back at it again in our Iron Maiden album review and eventual ranking video once we get done reviewing them all. And we're getting close. In other big news, it's finally arrived. Senjutsu, their newest album, their 17th studio album, so it's going to make that ranking and it's going to get reviewed once we get there. And so I'm not really going to share my thoughts on it or all that. I already kind of talked about those two singles, Writing on the Wall and Stratigo, how I loved them. But we'll talk about the album in whole once I get there. But either way, the hype was real for that thing. So, anyways, today we're talking about, we're out of the 90s Maiden stuff we're looking at. We're out of the Blaze Bayley stuff. We're looking at Bruce's return and Adrian Smith's return. So now you've got, and this is in the year 2000. Of course, we're talking about Brave New World. Really beautiful cover there with the futuristic city. I love Eddie in the sky. Really cool. So now you've got the lineup, just like a super freaking lineup here. You've got, obviously, Bruce back on vocals, Steve Harris, obviously, on bass, Nico on drums. And then you've got three freaking guitar players, like a tri-headed dragon. You got freaking Adrian Smith back in, who was heavily missed on those albums he wasn't on. Obviously, Dave Murray never left. Another great. And then Yannick Gers, who was, did stuff with Bruce on his solo career, and then was obviously on those few 90s records there. But this album, boy oh boy, what an epic freaking return. This is how you do a return album if you've been gone. And we kick it off with a single, one of the big singles off here, The Wicker Man. And that's got a damn good riff to it. I love the ending of it most, where it's almost like an anthem or a chant going on. I can imagine hearing that at a stadium. I've sadly not seen Maiden live yet. I'm going to have to go catch them on this new tour, but I'm sure that hearing that song would be really cool due to its like anthemic kind of feel. The chorus, I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, it's good. It's a good opener. Very solid, classic Maiden opener. Then track number two, one of my favorite tracks off here, period. And you get this beautiful, clean Iron Maiden guitar tone, as well as the heavy tones are great in here too. This is one of their best produced albums, in my opinion. Very clean, just crisp. But you got Ghost of the Navigator. Man, the pre-chorus, chorus, and the verses are all so freaking memorable on here. Love, love, love that track. It's got to be in like the top few tracks on this album. One I always go back to, jamming to. And there's some really cool time changes going on. And Bruce's voice just, it was like he had never left. If not even has done better on this album. Has some incredible stuff. But then we got the title track, which opens with just this beautiful, clean riff. And, it just gives you the goosebumps multiple times on this album, and especially right there during that intro to Brave, the title track. And it's got a really hooky chorus that's kind of got a galloping kind of vibe to it, which is really cool. Another incredible song. Then you got Blood Brothers, another great, which pretty powerful. It's like the guys are back together, and they're like, we're blood brothers here, and they've got it really, you feel the passion coming out of there, like, hey, they've got each other, and they're not gonna let it crumble again, and they haven't since. So that's a really cool, passionate song. Then you've got The Mercenary, which is another it's a damn good freaking song. And I love the chorus just building on you. It's, as you can see here, track after track, just like a lot of their 80s albums. Just track after track of freaking greatness. And this album is just so fresh to hear after going through all these, the 90s stuff that was kind of hit or, not the greatest. But yeah, after that we got Dream of Mirrors that has, man, I remember after one of the listens re-listens I was doing to this album like a while back, I kind of forgot about that track and put it on, and that chorus is just wow. The I only dream in black and white. I mean, that's just incredible stuff right there. And Bruce he just freaking kills it vocally on that track. Then we got probably these two coming up here in a row are probably my least favorite, but they're still really good. Fallen Angel, I'd say that probably takes the cake for least favorite. It's not like a long, like a lot of the tracks in here are pretty lengthy. This one's one of the shorter ones, and it's just kind of more to the point. but it's a solid Maiden track. I wouldn't call it filler at all. And the same with the Nomad, one of my least favorites, probably my second least favorite, but it's got a really cool like power slavey Egyptian vibe going on, like desert with the riff, which is pretty cool. Then we get Out of the Silent Planet, which, oh my god, that's track number 9, and it's just and another epic. And I love the ending where the speed's picking up, and the solos in this thing are crazy. The triple solos. I know people give Yannick some shit or whatever for doing this, dancing on stage, which is funny, but he's a damn good player, and he's got spots on these studio albums that are just really, really good. And you really got to see, I think the best work for him to really hear just him is on Bruce Dickinson's solo album, Tattooed Millionaire. That came out, I think, 1990. But yeah, Out of the Silent Planet's got a really cool solo from the guys, and just really cool build. Then you end it with probably my favorite off here. This beautiful, one of my favorite Maiden songs of all time. Track 10, The Thin Line Between Love and Hate. You talk about time changes, building up. I mean, this thing starts pretty damn heavy, and just like, it's like you feel it coming, like it's almost like the storm coming, like on this album cover. And you just, the verses are going great, and then you've got this beautiful chorus where, you know, the guitar's just kind of they're all doing their just kind of simple kind of chuggy riffs, you know. But the grand thing is whenever you get to like these in-betweens where Bruce is just, he's going some of the highest damn notes he's done, and then you break down and you've got this beautiful, just clean, one of the cleanest guitar tones I've ever heard in my life. Gives me goosebumps thinking about it. And it just, whew. Then Bruce comes in with just freaking wailing the title, The Thin Line Between Love and Hate, and just going up and down the scale. And that performance alone makes him one of the greatest singers of all time. If people had any doubts of that, you know, from listening to the last few, several albums he was on, then listen to that, and you will more than likely change your mind. He is a freaking god, a freaking legend, vocally, and that song is one of my favorite vocal performances. And, you know, even you kind of pick back up to one of my, just an incredible solo, one of my favorite solos from them all the guitar players, and then you end it back with that cleanliness again. And, oh, that is just one of the best damn Maiden songs out there. I'll never forget getting to the end of this album and listen to that and just having to sit there for a second and be like, whoa. But yeah, guys, that's my review for 2000's Brave New World. Just amazing comeback album for Bruce and Adrian. Gang was back together and the chemistry was still freaking there. With that being said, next time we're going to take a peek at one of the unfinished album cover. It's notorious, it's infamous for it, but I like a lot of the stuff on there. 2003's Dance of Death, just that album cover is awful. But it had potential, but it's awful. And so we're going to be looking at that next time. And then, you know, also, like I mentioned in my last video, kind of plugging in my the Facebook page my uncle and I run. We co-admin that thing together, and we do our theme days, stuff like that I post reviews on here, or from here on there, and you know, and also like tonight's Saturday, we're doing like Soundtrack Saturday and posting songs from soundtracks, and you know, we love the fan activity, and you know, hearing everybody's opinions and stuff, and I'd love to hear everybody's opinions on this. I've really not heard a lot of people hate on this album or anything like that. Very proggy metal stuff right here. A lot of time changes, a lot of greatness. Incredible album. But anyways, thanks guys, I'll catch you next time on the Dance of Death review. Thanks.